Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Giles Bergonzo here. Another episode of What's Next. Still going for that trifecta. Number 2 on the docket today. Shang-Chi star Simu Liu has gotten into a lot of hot water as of late with unearthed Reddit posts comparing pedos to the gayness. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Especially, it does not come off well when you have one of the worst box office numbers of any MCU film in Marvel history. So, but his comments, his reaction, and also I'm going to throw a little bit of different perspective at it towards the end. So, let's take a look, shall we? This comes out of Cosmic Book News. Marvel star Simu Liu sympathetic towards pedos, comparing them to the gayness. Yikes. Marvel star Simu Liu is currently once again the subject of controversy as Reddit posts from 2015 have been unearthed where Shang-Chi star is revealed to be sympathetic towards pedophilia and compares sexual feelings towards children to being gay. Back in 2015, Simu Liu responded to a Reddit post about a program in Germany that encouraged pedos to sign up for a confidential treatment where the actor chimed in as he did, quote, a significant amount of research, end quote, for a role that saw him play a pedophile in which he appeared. He also apparently joked he didn't do the, quote, method research, which means reality acting, or using something from one's own experiences as a basis for the role. Quote, hey, I'm a Canadian actor and I thought I'd chime in. I recently did a show in which I played a pedophile. I did a significant amount of research, clinical, not the method, on the disorder and how it's perceived in the media. In the end, the role completely changed the way I looked at pedophilia and has made me much more sympathetic to anyone who is, quote, born with those urges, end quote. Simu Liu continued by comparing pedophilia to gay and said it's a mutation. Yes, the mutant gene. Quote, from a biological standpoint, it is no different than being gay, a small mutation in the genome that defines our sexual preferences, says Liu. Depending on what area of the world you were born in and what time, it also may have been a perfectly acceptable thing to act on those urges. Now, we all know by taking advantage of minors is wrong, disgusting, and vile even, continued Liu. But with the exception of Germany, we are going about it completely the wrong way. It's like we haven't learned anything by studying homosexuality. We're talking about exploring the same, quote, cures to pedophilia as we were about homosexuality 20 years ago, a la conversion therapy and what not. Simu Liu went on to defend pedophiles in the post and again said pedophilia is not so different than being gay. Now I'm going to jump to this article, and this comes out of Bounding in the Comics. This comes out of the World News subreddit. In the World News subreddit, Liu will respond to a BBC article shared in the subreddit in which a user submitted headline reads, Germany encourages pedophilias to sign up for confidential treatment. Even if abused as a child, the doctors are hailing it as a success. Then the actor stated, as part of my research, I discovered that these people have literally nowhere to turn, even not offending pedophiles. They cannot seek treatment in most parts of the world because the therapist or psychiatrist would be legally required to report any individuals they suspect would pose a threat to minors. And rightly so. Liu continued, on message boards and social media, I see the same defense time again. What if it were your daughter? Well, I take their point, but I would ask, what if it was your child who came to you and confessed to being a pedo? Quote, I study and read suggestions that many as 1% of the population may have some degree of pedophilia tendencies. If this is true, I certainly hope that the rest of the world follows Germany's lead. He also edited the post. So my first gold was a sympathetic post towards pedophilia. Amazing, thank you for the gold. Honestly, it goes to show that Reddit is capable of tremendous compassion. To anyone who came forward to the thread, I admire your courage and wish you the best. I'm in no position to provide any guidance or advice of any sort, but I encourage you to read this article I stumbled upon while doing research for my role. Then he stated, Medium article by Luke Malone titled, "You're 16, you're a pedophile, you don't want to hurt anyone, what do you do now?" Finally concluded the post, "To people downvoting, I encourage you to participate in the discussion instead of simply clicking a button. I hope you remember downvotes should only be given to comments and don't contribute to the discussion. You should use it as a means of voicing your disagreement." Liu will continue to the forum. What we currently know about the disorder is that this, like homosexuality, exists on a spectrum. For example, we all know the wholly barely legal subgenre in adult entertainment is huge. Anybody who JOs 2 pictures of an 18-year-old and turns around and says all pedophilias ought to be killed is a effing hypocrite. IMO, he wrote. Liu then added, "But I digress. From what you've typed here, it seems that you have a mild preference that you're able to satisfy with adults. Some people with the disorder find themselves only attracted to children, and that could be potentially problematic, especially in a society where there is absolutely no way to get help." This comes out of Church Militant. Bishops report pedophilia priests are typically homosexual. Now, this was a whole situation with the Catholic priests regarding pedophilia, and of course, this was going on for decades, to the tune of thousands of children, millions of dollars in settlements. Absolutely insanity. I'm going to just quote this one report here. The 2015 annual report, findings and recommendations, published last week by the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops. Now remember, it is dated 2015. Reported on clerical sex abuse using statistics gathered from July 1st, 14 through June 30th of 15. Page 38 of the report shows that 314 alleged victims who came forward during the 1-year period, 81% were male, 16% were under the age of 10. Referring to the problem as pedophilia is incorrect, as Newsweek noted in 2002, it's a big jump. The great majority of cases now before the church involved not pedophilia, but amphibophilia, and attraction to post-pubescent use. Thus, I'm sorry, let me continue. Let me finish this off. Continue. Thus, the abuse is not pedophilia. Is typically involved. Does not involve prepubescent children. Attributable. Excuse me. Wow. The evidence that this current report shows the problem of priestly sex abuse stems principally from a homosexual clergy that is attracted to males who've gone through puberty. I wanted to end that with that section right there in that article. Anybody can pull that article up, and now if the article has been updated, I have yet to see it because I initially pulled up Catholic clergy, regarding pedophilia, homosexuality, and these are the most current articles that I've been able to find. If I've missed something, please point that out. Regarding the situation with Simu Liu, sadly, that they have done the same thing with Kevin Hart. They went back 10 years to find a comment that Kevin Hart made jokingly regarding his children, who don't want them to be gay, playing with girls' toys, or I think with a dollhouse or something of that nature. This is different. He did that jokingly only because of who Kevin Hart is. Simu Liu decided to get all triggered and get all penny bunched when everybody jumped all over him regarding how not so great the movie was, and of course he mentioned those from the Geeks and Gamers community. But this is not so good, because this is in the same realm as James Gunn, who made those pedophilia comments on Twitter 4 or 5 years ago, got fired from Marvel, got hired by DC, and then got rehired by Marvel. So, whatever you say, who cares? At that point, yeah, because if you weren't going to hold his feet to the fire, are you going to hold Simu Liu's feet to the fire regarding this? Because from what it looks like, he may not get a second chance at Shang-Chi. The way the quote unquote critics, yes, they're praising it, but those of us who actually go see the movies, because we're the ones who count, critics, hate to tell you that. Don't think Marvel's going to be investing any time in a sequel anytime soon. But let me know what you think with this whole situation, and do the comparisons. And of course, the comparisons to pedophilia and homosexuality, you got to separate the two. You have to separate the two. But in the article that I just cited regarding Catholic priests, homosexuality, and pedophilia, according to that report by the bishops, it kind of merged the two. Let me know what you think. I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below, like it, share, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.